can... oh, another Omen of Light. So third Omen of Light this map, guys. This is insane. Insane. One map, 3 Omen of Lights. And if you're fully focused in clearing maps, very... Oh, the Rite of Passage Golden Charm. That's insane, I would say. Never dropped one. Include in the Prophet breakdown reference. So, yeah, Omen of Light just while starting the second map. 3 Omen of Lights in the 6th map. Yo, what up, guys? Today is the second part of the farming session for Abyss using Jado. As I said in my previous video when we were using unexpected missions and partial translations, this style of farm for Abyss is a bit RNG, is actually quite the most inconsistent farm in my opinion for Abyss farming. We are also using Manamo influence, the Omen drops and the abyssal monsters have increased effectiveness in our Abyss Atlas 3 because we are using the tablet with the increased monsters, which is the best type of tablet for this type of farm, and also the increased chance for abyssal monsters to have abyssal modifiers. And as a third stat, we are also using monster rarity. In the previous video I mixed it up and added some rarity instead of increased monster rarity, so rarity for item find, but that's a very secondary, let's say, modifier for what we are looking for. As you can see here, we are buying the tablets live, so the price is around 30 divines, maybe a bit more, depending on the market price at the moment of your farm. We are going to buy these 3 tablets here. They have some decent rolls for the modifiers and also for the monster rarity. So if we have enough luck this time, maybe the balance will shift in our favor. The first video was a bit underwhelming because the profit was not all that high. The luck was present just in the first half of the farming session for the 10 map sample, and the second part, so the last 5 maps, it fell off and we didn't find all that much Omens of Light actually. So this time around the difference is that we are actually targeting the number of increased rare monsters in let's say parallel with increased monster rarity to see if this variant works better, and it's still a bit of RNG, as I was saying, using Jado, depending on the map layouts that we are getting, depending on the other rolls, depending on the percentage from 0 to 40%, we can have a unlucky streak and get 0% bonus or close to 0% bonus in many maps, or we can get a bit luckier and receive that bonus a bit higher. So the 10 map sample from the previous video was not actually enough to draw a clear conclusion on the farming strategy. This is the second attempt to farm the strategy using Jado and corrupted Waystones with 8 modifiers, and the priority here would be to have increased monster rarity 103% and also some item rarity on the tablet. These tablets actually sell at around 3 divines per tablet, but usually you can also find them at around 2 divines depending on the market moment. And we actually hope this time around it will go a bit faster because I've changed my bow. I bought this one for around 1.4k divines. The difference here is it has a much higher DPS, so around 1.1k, and the downside from the Oblivious Obliterator bow was that it was just 800 DPS, and also it had the drawback that when you're using Obliterator bow, due to the higher physical damage base, it actually gets that debuff which decreases the range of your projectiles by 50%. The Warmonger bow doesn't have that downside, and even if it has a lower physical damage base, it also has a higher attack speed, at least this one does. using these runes, Legacy of Quill Rain, the Perfect Iron rune, and the Rune of Archery for the additional arrow. And it has actually a role for increased attack speed on the bow itself. It actually has a higher critical strike chance, critical hit chance, and all these benefits are playstyle and are Deadeye Ice Shot build. And also I've changed the boots, which this time are sanctified and have 40% increased movement speed, so that's a 5% bonus on top of what I had last time. Hopefully with these two upgrades here, the entire farming session for the 10 map samples will go a bit faster. We got the tablets, the 3 tablets for these modifiers, and the unique tablet as the 4th tablet for the additional 16. We have the maps here already prepared. There are around 2 or 3 divines per map when you find them. And now let's go to the first target. Let's see, I prepared some maps here with the Delirium Fog on top. These ones are not quite ready yet. Let's check out the target 5 here. Yeah, these ones are good with 200% Delirious. Let's start from this side. I'll remove the previous tablets and let's jump into the first map. We'll do the same as before, a quick 10 map session, and see if the RNG at this point favors the Jado build in comparison with the Hilda strategy. We'll use the first tab here, which is empty at the beginning of the farming session. We'll drop all the loot here, and at the end of the video, as always, we'll do a profit breakdown, the initial investment cost minus the total value we extract from the items, and it will bring us to the net profit for our farming session. And I consider it necessary to have multiple farming sessions of 10 maps for the Jado strategy. As I was saying, it's quite RNG, it's quite inconsistent from my testing, and just the 10 map session is simply not enough to extract the real value from that farming strategy. And hopefully another 10 map sample will probably give us a different result. Hopefully this time it will be a bit better, and maybe in time, while I still farm this strategy, if it's actually worth it, I'll come back to you guys and give you a closer to reality value for the profit that we're making. If at some point I'll draw the conclusion that the Hilda strategy is much more consistent and we get better results with that one, I'll actually make another video and show you the results, but we have to farm a bit more to draw the more precise conclusion. That's why I consider it necessary to make a second video about this one. So far no luck on the Omen of Light, but we are dropping some nice omens, and the first divine was already dropped in this map. As I always say, please keep in mind that the splinter drop is actually important. Try to pick those up, because at the end, when you sell all the simulacrums, due to the high demand for simulacrum farming, you will actually make a ton of divines selling those simulacrums. So yeah, just go out of your way and pick them up. It's really worth it. I saw in the commentary section for the previous video that some of you guys were trying this method out and actually got really unlucky and didn't get consistent results at all. And even if in the first farming session you were getting some Omen of Light drops and also some divine drops, the next sessions were somehow worse. And I'm actually curious to test it out and see if another 10 maps farming session will actually prove us wrong or give us better results. so far the first farming session. If you check out that video, you'll see that it's a decent amount of profit, but not all that much. Not as consistent as the Hilda strategy so far, using 4 different tablets with Hilda. The biome is still Val City maps. I consider it to be ideal. Maybe some other city biomes will actually work out for you guys, increasing the efficiency even more, but I like the increased rarity due to the fact that I'm running headhunters as my build, and it's highly dependent on killing a lot of rare monsters in order to stack those modifiers which we steal on each rare kill. So it increases our build capacity, either defensive or offensive, and we get to survive very nice while speeding through the map. Not sure what this is, but I'll price check it. We got the first Omen of Light, guys, here in the first map. Some divine drops. Not a lot so far, but I'm actually quite delighted that we've seen the Omen of Light drop in the first map. Hopefully we'll get more. Sometimes it's also worth it to go click on those chests that emerge from the closed pits, even if they're not coffers. Ideally you should click on abyssal coffers because they have a high chance to drop the raw currency, including divines, but sometimes the other ones do too. Abyssal echoes, not a huge chunk of profit from those, but they're still worth some divines. So the rule is here. As for the splinters, I advise you, yeah, the second Omen of Light in the first map. It's actually quite nice. 2 Omens of Light. I'm not actually getting all that excited so far because, as you can see in my previous farming session, we also got kinda lucky in the first 5 maps, dropping around 7 Omen of Lights in just 5 maps, which is a great average. But the last 5 were so poor in drops. So probably this map rolled a good Jado effect modifier, close to 40% most probably, and you don't have this guaranteed on each map. But we are still closing in on the average. I hope today we're going to find more than at least, let's say, 10 Omen of Light drops per the 10 map session. If it were so, that would bring up the average close to a very profitable rate. If you have the currency to invest, I've seen some great boots out there with the option for not getting slowed. There's a rune, I'm not sure how it's called. They are worth quite a lot, but still, if you have the extra currency to go away, I actually recommend you guys get those types of boots, because in many maps for this build, speed is actually a good factor for the profit. And as we don't use temporalis to warp around and simply clear maps, the movement speed here is a key part. So if you don't get slowed by effects or by chilled ground, that will actually improve your mobility, survivability, and also the rate at which you clear maps. And if you are fully focused in clearing maps, oh, the Rite of Passage Golden Charm, that's insane, I would say. Never dropped one. That's the first. Quite nice. This is actually a lucky map, guys. First map of the video, and you can see some cool drops. 2 Omen of Lights, 1 Rite of Passage. It's a premiere for me. What can I say? Got lucky. We are actually defeating the map boss after what's that? Some diamond. It's not a high value roll, but still we'll pick it up just for the fun of it. Some exalts, I should stop picking those up because I don't need exalts. They are so cheap to buy right now. 400 exalts at this current market rate for one divine. So not a huge deal if you don't pick exalts up. More echoes. Not bad, not great. The other omens actually have close to no value, so you can skip those. No worries. As a little trick which you can take advantage of if you are running headhunters, most of the time when you activate all these mechanics from the map, like strong boxes or rune type farming or stuff like that, you will spawn some rare monsters, which in terms, if you kill them fast, will provide you with some extra modifiers throughout the map, and that's a great bonus no matter what you get. Either attack speed, movement speed, resistances, critical hit chance, all of them are great. So the focus here would be to kill as many rares as you can. Another divine drop, that's cool. Some simulacrum. The main difference that I'm feeling with the bow upgrade would be that the attack speed is much higher, so almost twice as fast, and this in terms translates to much more powerful mana drain. But I'm surprised to see that the build is actually relying quite heavily. So this is the coffer I was talking about. Just make sure to ping those because they more often than not drop important currency like chaos orbs and divines. The upgrade here to the build feels quite nice. I actually feel some improvement in survivability due to the offense capabilities. It also allowed me to shift some points from the Atlas tree around, and I didn't need all that much freeze build up, and I actually shifted those points to critical bonus. For this build it works out quite nicely. But the main difference that I was talking about is to the mana drain. So occasionally, if you don't use the Laviata's flask for the passive regeneration of mana, you can oh, another Omen of Light. So third Omen of Light this map, guys. This is insane. One map, 3 Omen of Lights. How about that? That's actually quite cool. As I was saying, the mana remnants here actually do a nice job because you are killing them faster, and you generate mana remnants without having to stack that freeze build up because you are hitting twice as much. And yeah, you generate these remnants, you pick them up, and your mana will almost always stay full and even overflow. As you can see here, I have more mana than my maximum capacity, so that's the mana overflow kicking in. The first map is done. So some great profits from the first map. This is actually quite a nice start. Wasn't expecting this. We have 3 Omen of Lights, 10 Abyssal Echoes, 5 Divines, 16 Chaos. So this is the rite of passage with the stag. 85 divines, guys, 85 divines, 1 drop. I think unidentified, I could have gotten more from it, but still. I have the boar one. Is the stag a better option here? As extra lightning damage, movement speed. Okay, so it's much more offensive. Yeah, I'll try this one out. Let's say this one will probably work. 15 seconds as opposed to 19 seconds. Let's try it out, guys, but I will sell this if I get the chance because mine is much cheaper. I also stashed the diamond. Let's see what this is. It's not of great value. We also stack the splinters, so we got 14 abyssal echoes actually in the same map. I'm not sure what this is. Not a great value. Okay, so the other unimportant items, let's say, we'll actually stash in a separate tab, like some random tablet drops. The currency, the lesser currency, we'll stash it in the currency tab because we are not counting this as actual value drops. And the rest of them will simply sell.
Gold is useless to me. Take it, indeed.
And now let's quickly get another unforeseen consequence tablet and another corrupted map with the 8 modifiers and jump right into the second map. So let's pick the bazaar here. We also have the grand mirror, even though we don't need it. Second map, guys. If it's just as as lucky as the first one, we still get a lot. Hopefully the RNG will be in our favor in this second sample of 10 maps. At the end of the video I'll also include in the profit breakdown reference. So yeah, Omen of Light just while starting the second map. I think we are off to a good start this time around. I'll actually include in the profit breakdown for this second session of farming using Jado. I will mention the first farming session and will also include an average. The profit back then was around 69 divines net profit, so not a lot. It's a good chunk of profit, but not a lot. Hilda was better. If this map surpasses that profit, I will still make the average between the two farming sessions because any one of us can get unlucky, but still we are averaging more maps in more farming sessions and drawing a better and more precise conclusion regarding on the profit on average. So that's why I'm taking on more sessions for the same strategy. Don't get discouraged, guys. As I was saying earlier in the first map, I mentioned that I read some comments for the previous farming session using Jado, and some of you guys out there really got unlucky, maybe on one or more of those farming sessions, and some of you guys really don't see any high results. So that made me curious, is it such a bad farming strategy or are we missing anything? Hopefully we're not. And it's still, just remember guys, RNG, you can get so unlucky sometimes, but if you keep farming it, you'll probably balance it out with enough time and enough maps. I got a lot of, let's say, positive feedback for this strategy, even though in my testing it didn't actually work out so great until this point, but I'm still not letting it slide. Hopefully we'll get a closer result to the average that is discussed online and in different videos presenting this type of farm. I think most of you guys out there are saying that on average with this strategy and these modifiers on the tablets, you are seeing somewhere close to 1.5, even 2 Omen of Lights on average per map. So I'm highly curious to see if this can happen in the second farming session, and if it does, it will be a first step in the right direction. I'll keep using this strategy, I'll keep farming it more and more, and in another future video I will come back to you guys with the conclusions. The second variant, if you didn't see my previous video, which explains in more detail, let's say, this strategy, maybe you can go check that out. If not, what I said in that video, the main idea was that you can actually vary the farming strategy. Currently I'm using just 3 normal abyss tablets. All of them have the increased chance for abyssal monsters to have abyssal modifiers, but still, if you don't want to use the expensive version with the another Omen of Light, so sorry, we have 5 Omen of Light drops in just 2 maps. How insane is that? How insane is that? And I'll show you guys real quick the rarity here on my items is still 144%, so not all that high. You can get even higher, but besides having rarity on your items, which is a very secondary stat, it doesn't actually affect the drops all that much. Maybe it helps out a bit with the raw currency drops and the Omen of Light drops. It's not confirmed by any official source that the item rarity increases the rate at which you drop the Omen of Lights, but it should work out that way. And from other veteran players which are testing item rarity, it correlates in some way with the higher tier of Omen drops, and Omen of Light is the highest tier of Omen drops. So if you actually can grab some item rarity, that's cool for this strategy, but the main focus is number of rare monsters, the increased effectiveness from the Atlas, and maybe the increased monster rarity as a third good modifier on the tablets. But as I was saying, item rarity helps, not the main focus, but it still helps. And also the point that I was trying to make is that if you still farm this strategy, make sure that you are rolling some effectiveness either on the Atlas tree, as I'm doing here because I'm using the expensive version with the unforeseen consequences variant, or you can make somewhat of a change. So the variant number 2 for this strategy is to go with a 4th normal abyss tablet, and that tablet should contain modifiers like additional 4 pits, chance to have additional 4 pits, and also increased effectiveness for each closed pit on the tablet. The higher the better. I think 12% is the highest wall. So if you can get that, you can actually switch the point from the abyssal tree, this one, you can actually switch it to option number 1. The abyss pits are scattered throughout the areas with abysses, and that will also help. It's a great option there. So if you are using just 4 normal abyss tablets, get abyss increased effectiveness on the 4th tablet together with additional abysses. And also make sure to change the option in your abyss skill tree for scatter, and that will actually help you out with the monsters that are spawning from the abyss pits. That's, I think, the cheaper version. I didn't test that one out. I went just for the most expensive one. But it's not that huge of a difference, because as you saw earlier when I was buying the tablets, there are around 30 divines, and the abyssal unique unforeseen consequences is around 3 divines. If you buy it in exalted orbs, make sure to do that, and 3 divines for 10 tablets in 10 map session actually rounds up to around 30 divines, which is the price of the additional 4th tablet with the good modifiers. I got lost a bit, but I can see now that the map continues that way. That's what happens when you actually try to talk over gameplay on live sessions. You get distracted, you either forget your idea what you're about to say, or you get distracted from the game enough and you get lost, you don't see the map layout, or you actually risk dying if your build is not strong enough. This strategy is actually, from my point of view, a bit easier than the Hilda one. I don't know, it just feels that way to me. You can also look out for tablets which also have increased chance to, as a 4th optional modifier, which have increased chance to lead to abyssal deaths, because as you know guys, starting with 0.5 E, I guess, the patch which corrected the modifiers on the tablets being applied to the abyssal deaths layer, to those monsters there, you actually get a lot of rare monsters in the abyssal deaths, and they in turn get the chance to drop omens, including Omen of Light. So that's an extra, let's say, bonus. If you have the luck to open up the abyssal depths, you can actually farm even more Omen of Lights, which is the main purpose of this farm. I was actually surprised to see that there's a lot of interest for these farming sessions with the uncut scenery and the footage, which are filmed and shown live, for the exact drops, because it simply proves how you run the strategy, what the speed is, what the drops are, and a lot of people are interested in these types of videos. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can also jump throughout the maps. I include chapters with each map, so if you are not willing to look at the entire video, you can actually jump to just the chapter you're interested in, or you can simply jump right to the end of the video where the profit breakdown is shown. But if you get curious and don't actually, let's say, trust or believe the total profit at the end, there's still the entire footage, so you can simply watch it end to end and confirm that the strategy is just this and works fine, no cutscenes. When I started doing that in previous farming strategies on my channel, I got some comments in which the profit that I was showing was highly contested. It cannot be, you cannot have that much profit, you just simply use cutscenes from different favorable maps or outcomes and file them together. So I wasn't doing that, but still it was a great idea given to me by one of you guys, that it would be nice to have the full uncut farm. So yeah, that was a mistake kill from my Mirage Deadeye. Be careful for that. My Mirage Deadeye spawned inside the dark cloud, and the monster wasn't pulled out of the cloud, and when it gets killed, it drops Omen of Light, which values basically nothing, and you miss out on the chance to drop higher tier omens like Omen of Echoes, Abyssal Echoes, or the highest one, Omen of Light. So if you are using the Mirage Deadeye build set up as I have it, please be careful, because I miss out on a lot of kills while farming Abyss. Ancient Rib, that's a lucky drop. I think it's 3 or 4 divines. Nice one. Nice one. Let's see what else. can find essences like this and still kill the rares just for the modifiers. The only downside to this point of the build is if I am very careful with the kills, I lose more time, my clear speed actually drops, and also the stack of modifiers from the Headhunter's belt, which lasts around 60 seconds from the moment they are stolen. The quantity of modifiers which pile up decreases because my speed is actually slowed by the fact that I'm trying to be very careful with the kills. If you like to simply rush it, you can simply lose on some of the drops, but have a greater clear speed. So this being a map which contains Grand Mirror, you see that it replicates the 2 existent bosses, and we actually have 4. Okay, we dropped some ancient fragments, which also value a lot. We'll price check those at the end, but still, some great drops this map. Exceptional base. Let's throw the items which we don't require, and let's quickly price check this. Is it worth anything? Oh, shit. 16 divines, just this base. Guys, how lucky are we? This is an Astromantis. It used to value a lot, but not anymore. The ancient fragment crystals, 1.4. Wait, they dropped in price? They used to be 3 or 4 divines. Anyway, 2 Omen of Lights, that's great. Let's activate this Grand Mirror. You can actually see here how the Grand Mirror is used. So the idea with the Grand Mirror is that when you're targeting a city area such as this one, you can see here the indication of the map which you can target, and ideally you want to surround on most of the edges the city maps here, so when you target the Grand Mirror Delirium Fog, it will jump from map to map just in the direction you're interested in, and you can ensure that a lot of maps with the city biome are covered in the Delirium Fog. Here was just an example to show you guys, if you do not have the city maps surrounded, let's say, by the maps that are completed, and you target the center piece here, as you've seen, it jumps to one or the other side, and you can miss out at a lot of city maps which remain uncovered. A quick solution to this, if you are not interested in surrounding the area, just grab another Grand Mirror and target the remaining half of the maps. Still, you'll lose time on completing the other maps to rise the delirium percentage. That's just a quick tip on how you can use Grand Mirrors. So yeah, the secondary map is done, the second one. We have some nice drops, pretty consistent so far. So 2 Omen of Lights, 2 Anols, which actually value something, Ancient Crystals, this exceptional base which values a lot, that's just a lucky drop, don't expect that each time, 6 Divines, some Splinters, some Echoes, lesser than before, but the Ancient Rib is nice, some Chaos drops, Perfect Orb, that's actually quite cool, and I think that's about it, guys. Let's get rid of the other abyssal currency and the other currency which is lower and we don't spend much time counting it. And I think we'll get rid of some extra drops here. I'll just stash them away in the second tab here because they are not of interest. What's this? Not a lot. Okay, and we'll probably sell the remaining items.
As expected. Time is of the essence.
Let's get another tablet for the unforeseen consequences, and another map here. And let's quickly jump into the third map. So yeah, which should be the third map. This Val City right here will do fine. It has 200% delirium. So the third map, let's see what this one rolls. Will we get lucky as the first two? I'm actually quite satisfied with the first two. We can actually miss some drops, 1 or 2 maps in this sample, and we'll still be getting some consistent profits. Splinter drops, I think some of the maps have more consistent splinter drops, while others have less splinter drops. Not sure how this works out, but yeah, we'll see that as well. I had maps in which I had 2 simulacrums in just those maps, or other maps in which I got just few splinters, and I'm actually actively trying to pick them up. We heard the thing here, yeah, it was a divine. Another quick tip, guys. In my previous farming session videos, probably you've seen some of the times the game was lagging. As I was saying, and especially in Europe servers, the game was crashing and the game was not actually quitting, but it still showed those, let's say, 2 years that which were covering the screen at the moment of crash, and you were waiting for about 1 minute for the game to load again and resume the state of your gameplay or map. 2 divine drops in the same spot, that's always a pleasant sight. But actually they fixed that. If you are watching the developers from Grinding Gear Games, they put out a video in which they explained which was the cause for that. It was something regarding the shaders, which were crashing the driver for NVIDIA GPUs. And before reaching out to NVIDIA to try to figure out a solution or a fix, they had to test out a bunch of gaming, let's say, scenarios in which the steps were actually consistent in reproducing those crashes. So good job on their part, because they managed to sort that out. Now, if you want to have a crash-free experience, all you have to do is go and download the latest driver from NVIDIA, released a couple of days ago, I think, a few days ago, and that will fix up your game. I didn't see any crash from the moment I've updated my driver, so I'm actually quite pleased by that. I think besides being a fantastic game, Path of Exile 2 I mean, they also have a cool developer team, so the guys are actually quite dedicated and are working like pros to fix all the pain points of the game. They changed the game in early access so far by a lot, and I actually enjoy it from update to update even more. And it can be, I don't know, actually deduced from all their fixes, from all their changes, that besides being let's say development company for gaming, they are also passionate gamers themselves and really put their hearts into the game and try to actually make the best ARPG out there. And from my point of view, it is. Path of Exile 2 absolutely is. I moved away from Diablo, and I used to be a huge fan, but from Diablo 2 onwards, I think they got on the wrong foot, and the game simply doesn't feel all that satisfying, all that much. Depending on your playstyle, if you enjoy grinding games like Path of Exile, if you are a 90s kid or older, you probably are more accustomed to the grinding sessions and the farming sessions and putting in more effort for a game to extract higher value, and Path of Exile delivers on that front quite a lot. In my opinion, Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 actually become really easy, really fast, and they are actually not as rewarding. You don't have to put in that much of an effort to get a high-end build. Plus, the options here for the Atlas and for the build variants in Path of Exile 2 are much wider, I think, in the sense that you can play multiple styles and still enjoy the game as you were playing for the first time, which was a problem back then with Diablo. I don't know what your opinion is, but I'm curious to find out if you are, let's say, passionate about ARPGs. You can leave some opinions in the comment section so I can get a better sense of how people play ARPGs nowadays. This actually made me return to gaming Path of Exile 2. It was actually quite inspiring to see such a well-defined ARPG with such a nice feel to it. Hopefully the full release of the game in December will be even better. There are still a lot of pain points or things to be addressed, like the economy, the inflation of the economy, the divine value dropping real fast, lesser currencies not being useful for all that much, exalts are just simply in just 1 month in or even less are simply exchange currency for chaos or divine, and divine orbs don't really play a huge role in the crafting system for the items. I would like to see them be much more flexible and versatile. Maybe that would actually make the inflation of the game go down, and the price of the higher currency like mirrors would keep a lower cost, so that more of the players which can actually farm divines can benefit from that. I never dropped a mirror. I never had enough economy in the game to actually buy a mirror using divines. But still, hopefully one day. I think no Omen of Light drops this map, so far at least. Haven't seen them. Bunch of divines, but not a lot. Omens. Some of the beast monsters, I think, more often than not, actually spawned without having Manamu modifier. So no Dark Cloud, and even those ones with the Dark Cloud didn't actually drop nice omens. Oh, yeah, Omen of Light. The RNG gods heard me, decided to throw me a bone. That's great. simply the strategy is working out better than I expected for the second session. And if you watched my previous 10 map farming session for the Jado strategy with the 8 mod tablets, you can see there that I was actually telling you that I feel I have a sense of the farming sessions, and I feel that it was highly unlucky, at least in the second part after the first 5 maps. Towards the end of the video I was simply complaining that it cannot be this unlucky, and I feel that we got at some point, let's say, dishonest opinion about what this strategy can offer, because it has a lot of potential but still being affected so much by the volatility of the RNG system, which is implied by Jado options. There's a risk, a high risk, that you get unlucky in a small sample size, and with that being the case in my first session of farming, it honestly wasn't proving the exact value of the strategy. But this time around I think we can actually make a better profit, so let's see until the end. 1 Omen of Light, 4 Echoes, some Chaos, some Splinters, 7 raw Divine drops. Is this worth anything? No, not that much. Perfect Jewelers, and I think that's it for this session. Just a bunch of other random stuff. I'll drop it in the second tab here. Tablets, some of the Waystones, maybe I'll sell those actually. Okay, so the rest of the currency, the lesser currency, I'll drop it here in the tab. Oh, that was a perfect exalt actually. I had the perfect exalt here previously. I'll actually try to sell this because it has some divine value. So yeah, the lesser currency from the pits, actually not keeping that, and let's sell the remaining stuff.
As expected.
Okay, let's go to the fourth map, but this time around I'll have to quickly buy an unforeseen tablet because we ran out of it. So let's check this one. It's around 3 divines if you check for the price in Exalted Orb. If you are checking the price directly in divines, sometimes you actually get cheated on the price in the way that it actually costs more, like 4 divines or 5 divines. So my advice would be to quickly exchange some divines orb into exalts, and you can actually hunt for the spot of the day when the market actually gives you a better price, like 400 or above exalted orbs per divine. But I'm in a rush right now, but you can still see that in my previous video in detail, when you can actually benefit from the perfect let's say currency exchange. Oh, I wasn't seeing the stash here because it's a crazy shell-like stash in order to get all that currency. So the tablet here was this one.
Definitely want that one.
Let's
right?
return to the hideout.
Come check out what came in.
I still have some exalts to get from Angie and put it here in the tab for the next few maps. Let's actually buy some of them in advance. We don't have the price for the lowest point, but we'll still buy some because we are in a rush. But you can farm them for cheaper. Okay, we need to exchange some more exalts. So divine for exalt. The price is not ideal, but still. What? Sometimes the market rate does that. It simply rounds down the currency you are selling because of the quick shift in price. So be aware not to get tricked by that. Let me place some other orders. And before they finish, we can actually jump into the fourth map, as we already have one or two extra tablets. I'll stash this one here and just use the ones I got until my exchanges go through. So yeah, the fourth map, guys. Let's see how this one plays out. So far we had a lot of Omen of Light drops. It's a good ratio. We didn't have any map so far without at least one Omen of Light dropping, so that's a good indicator that we are seeing much better results than in the first session of farming Jado. Hopefully that was just unlucky, and the other sessions that I'm about to farm will prove that the strategy is one of the best. I think it is. It has the ideal potential to be. I still consider that I got unlucky the first time around. At least it's the most popular out there. It's much more popular than the Hilda one, and it must have a reason being so. Hilda is actually quite consistent. You get good results with a higher consistency, but I bet this one can actually pull off even better results. Not sure about the consistency, but better results still. So yeah, let's pick shiny things up and price check them later. It's still a divine drop and some echoes. No Omen of Light so far, but we have time. The rewarding part, gotta give you this, guys, the rewarding part of this strategy is that most of the Abyss spawns actually have Omen of Light potential because of the increased chance for Abyssal monsters to have Abyssal modifiers, which for our farming strategy means Mana Moon Influence, and that actually has a high chance to drop the Omen of Abyssal Echoes or Omen of Light if you are killing a lot of rare monsters. So that's why we connect the modifiers on the tablets with the increased chance for the Abyssal modifiers and the increased rare numbers, either by directly increasing the monster rares by 35 or 34%. Doesn't have to be a perfect roll, but close to the perfect roll nonetheless. And the additional third modifier being increased monster rarity, which I think is the third best one on the tablet. Omen of Light drop in the fourth map, so in this session so far 4 maps always dropping Omen of Light at least once. We've seen 3 Omen of Light dropping in the first map, so that's insane. I can see a lot of things around but haven't quite spotted them, so Divine Orb in one place, Divine Orb in the second place. That's cool. Headhunters going around like crazy, I hate that, but still, being a high mobility build doesn't really matter all that much. I have a lot of evasion. Some of you guys honestly ask me in the comment section, why are you not getting damaged? I am, from time to time, quite rarely, but I am. The secret in this build is that I'm at 25k or above evasion rating, so that's a high evasion rating base, which is a very good dispatch, guys, for this league. Return of the Ancients, if you didn't know, evasion actually got buffed, so we have higher values for evasion rating, and it became a high competitor to Energy Shield defensive mechanism, because in previous leagues evasion wasn't this good as it is now, and most of the builds were centering around Energy Shield, high Energy Shield level, but Energy Shield does not protect you from hits. Evasion does, from all types of hits. So if you have a high enough base of evasion on your build, you will see that even if you get hit, you'll get hit quite rarely. Armored cap, is this worth anything? I don't know. We'll check it out. So it worked out great for me. I have a high evasion chest piece, which I sacrifice for 12% rarity. I can get it even higher, but it's simply overkill at this point and I don't need it. So that's why I'm using Rabbit Idol here in my chest piece to increase the rarity find, to farm even a bit better. It's still great. This echoes. But if you guys lack defensive stats and have a good chest piece with 3 sockets, you can sacrifice some rarity find and improve your evasion rating to increase your survivability. Just few trade-offs that you can do while min-maxing this character, the Ice Shard Deadeye I mean, and probably others which rely on evasion. This is not the only one. The Twister setup also combines evasion with ES hybrid on most of the builds, so that's also recommended to do that there. I think I missed some Abyss Pits, or did I? Yeah, it's actually in this part of the map. Glad to see it. I don't have to return all that much to the end of the beginning of the map actually. Some pits got unlucky here, still some chaos drops. Perfect orb of augmentation. Never know when you're crafting. Another divine, some splinters, tablets. Tablets actually guys, tablets, if you start crafting on your tablets, just get a bunch of tablets, fill your stash up with tablets, and then in one quick session just roll them, alt them, and I'll ensure you that even if in small numbers you'll still get some really nice rolls. And some tablets are crazy out there, you can sell them as you've seen for 20 or 30 or 40 divine orbs, and if you get 5 out of 100 tablets which are actually selling good, you'll still get a lot of profits from the tablet selling. So don't neglect picking up some tablets. You can fill out some stash tabs like 4 or 5 or 6. You don't have to roll them each time you have them. Just get a bunch of them, like 300 tablets, roll them in one quick session, quickly check their stats, and if any of them are good, just list them up and you'll make some 100 divines out of those. Quick way to make profit. Okay, so we've cleared all the abyss pits in this 4th map, and now let's go and kill the boss just for map completion, even if you don't really have to, but I like doing so. This guy. Yeah, and about Path of Exile 2 being a great ARPG, it has a nice dynamic and feel, great graphic, and also I think the monsters are really nice. The level of details they have, the variety, the layouts of the maps, I actually do enjoy them quite a lot.
Some goods in.
That's why I'm a huge fan. Let's see if this is worth anything. Not a lot. I won't count this as anything. So 4th map, got 1 light, 5 divines, some splinters. I won't count lesser currency, just the chaos orbs. And let's quickly stash the tablets here. And in the secondary tab here, maybe this thing. Let's get rid of the lesser currency. Yep, and the desecrated currency from the abyss. Selling these because I don't need them.
What should I
We can
do?
quickly grab the exchanges that went through. You can also leave a bunch of other exchanges while you're mapping
Oh,
to simply
it's you.
collect on a better price if you're into that. Do we have any more tablets to continue towards the 5th map? Not sure, I think I got one more left, yeah, so this is the 5th map. Let's quickly check the price on other tablets, maybe we can buy some more. No lower prices, so we'll come back to that later. So the 5th map can actually be this one right here, why not? 5th map, guys, fingers crossed. Each map until this point dropped at least one Omen of Light, that's great. Let's keep the streak going. Oh, okay, some cool drops, but no Omens right as of right now. Let's see the first roll here. No Amanamu modifiers, so that's unlucky. When you get monsters out of a pit without Amanamu modifiers, it can mean one or two things. Either you're highly unlucky, but being the fact that we got the second one as well, probably Jado hasn't rolled that much in our favor this map, so the chance for increased abyssal modifiers is not that high. This is the RNG, as I was saying, so from the first feel of the map, maybe we can expect that this 5th map will actually be a more unlucky one, and probably we won't see that Omen of Light drops, but who knows, you never know. That's just my first impression. See a lot of pits that actually spawn without Amanamu influenced monsters. That's not a good sign, not a good indicator. At some point we knew, guys, that the RNG would stop rolling in our favor, so the increase of explicit modifiers on the tablets are influenced lesser by the roll on Jado, and probably that's why we don't see as much as we would like the Dark Clouds and the Amanamu monster spawning, which means that we simply have lesser opportunity to drop Omens, and in this case Omens of Light. But still, don't get discouraged, this happens from time to time, just keep farming it. You can still roll some profit off of these maps. The other bad part, let's say, when rolling Jado is the fact that due to the first point in which you get the additional random modifier on maps which are triggered by corrupted Waystones, you still get the downside of changing the layout of the map arbitrarily, so you don't actually know what layout you're getting on the map. Not even picking that up. Used to be a great item for the surrounding option, but it's not anymore, not at this point of the league anyway. Oh, these guys here are actually with Amanamu. Let's wait for them to get out of there. No luck on the drop, but still clear kill. Reserve rib, I don't care about that. Let's see some Simulacrum Splinters. So the other interesting part of this Deadeye Ice Shot build, which I actually started the league with. It was my first build, the league starter, and I'm still playing it. I think it's the most pleasant to play as a, I don't know, dynamic or feel to the game so far. The interesting part is that you can actually make this build a lot faster and quicker if you get it to a high enough point, because you can actually swap from the Ascendancy of Deadeye to the Pathfinder and use some other talent shenanigans in the Atlas tree, which in terms translates to you not being slowed, or while sprinting not being able to get stunned, heavily stunned. So that improves your survivability by quite a lot, because you are always sprinting and you can emphasize the movement speed points from the Atlas, and you can still sacrifice some of the damage for the speed and mobility, and that actually is quite nice, starting from a high enough damage point, let's say. So if you have the perfect roll on your bow, mirror tier builds and stuff like that, you can actually swap your Deadeye Ranger to the Pathfinder and get a quicker and faster version of the Ranger, which actually still destroys maps and actually moves quite a bit faster without having to invest a lot in Temporalis. But still not at that point yet. Would like to try it out, and still the Ranger is quite fast in this Deadeye setup. You can get some nice boots, you can do some other stuff with some other jewels. You can use jewels to increase your movement speed if you have voices. I don't. Voices is a, let's say, huge selling point for the Simulacrum farm. So the main goal in the Simulacrum is to drop voices, the jewel which drops very rarely. It's about 800 divines unidentified, something like that. And if you get lucky, you can have a 4 extra jewel roll. So it starts by getting 2 jewel sockets for the one that you're using it in, and you can roll up to 4 extra jewel sockets. So if that is your roll, you're quite lucky. What can I say? That's a high demand for those with the 4 jewel sockets. And if you have that item, you can actually take advantage of the Pathfinder variant of this build for the Ranger, because you can get a lot of bonuses from those jewels, like movement speed and stuff like that. You can prioritize movement speed nodes on your Atlas, and the build, even if it's a sprinting build and not a teleportation one, it will still become a high value and high clear speed build, just by sprinting and not getting stunned while doing so. So you don't have to use other shenanigans like roll or stuff like that. Simply press space and destroy the map. It's a nice feel to it. I wouldn't know because I didn't try it out, but I've seen footage about this build from other veteran players like Popgun, and it looks amazing. But it's a high investment point build, so yeah. A few divines, some chaos orbs, no Omen of Light yet. Unlucky rolls. We had the sense of that being the case since the beginning of the map. First few pits, which are kind of indicating that the modifiers on the tablets were not being boosted all that much by the roll from the Jado option there. But even so, this being the unlucky map, let's say, it still dropped some echoes and some raw currency like divines. It's not over yet. Nothing to farm there. We actually got some splinters. let's see how this map rolls until the end. Maybe we can still get lucky. Who knows? Nope. Not this time around. The main advantage here for the Warmonger bow, which I can also notice, is the fact that not having the range of the projectiles cut in half or by 50%. Rather, the range actually allows you to kill much further away at a distance, and this actually provides an extra defensive layer because the monsters that quickly surround you in Path of Exile actually get killed further and further away, and you still have the ability to not get hit as a consequence of that. And in most cases, when I'm farming maps, I actually don't get to see what I'm killing. That's the range of this build with the Warmonger bow. The only downside is, as I was saying, that it heavily relies more on attack speed rather than pure physical damage base, and that being the case, it actually drains your mana much faster, but still it feels great because you actually can use an active instant recovery mana as I do and just press it a couple of times a map, no big deal. Or you can use Laviatas and get that passive mana regen. You can still choose some Atlas nodes which can improve your mana regen and tweak those settings from there. Okay, so it seems that we've surrounded the map by this point and we still haven't cleared all the abysses, which means that we can actually use the checkpoint here and go to the end boss section. Maybe it has some... no? I think we missed something here, but no matter. We are actually at the boss fight. We'll quickly take him out and then we'll go look for the remaining abyss. I didn't press all the buttons here, but still it got the boss got frozen and it couldn't actually do any damage to us. So yeah, the map is actually completed by this point, but we still have some. This one I think is the last one. I'm not letting that go, I'll still go check it out real quick. Maybe the last one would be the lucky one from this map and we'll get to see the Omen of Light drop. Maybe not. Who knows? Let's wait for them to get out of that dark cloud. I think they are desyncing their dark cloud spawn, and actually one spawns until the other exits and the other spawns it back, which is kinda stupid. But now that one is gone, and no, we didn't drop the Omen of Light, and neither did this one, the last one, so the map is completed. The fifth map is the first map so far that didn't actually drop the Omen of Light. Still some pretty cool rolls. So this was the unlucky version, let's say. If you check out these stats here, you can probably deduce from the multipliers on your tablets which is better than the last. You can check out the increased number of rare monsters, or you can actually check for the increased chance to lead to abyssal depths, or additional increased chance to have additional rare monsters, or any of these stats here that can get affected by the roll on your map for the Jado option there. So yeah, you can probably correlate those, let's say, numbers with partial translation rolling closer to 0 or closer to 40%, depending on your luck on each map. And the unexpected missions were the corruption part, where your map actually gets changed as the layout from what initially is presented on the atlas to what you actually get while you open the Waystone. Is this worth anything, this exceptional base? Let's check it out now.
Choose what you need.
Yeah, so the 5th map, more unlucky than the previous ones, but still quite rewarding in raw currency drops, some chaos drops. I'm not sure how this is priced, not a lot, I won't count that. I still get those cute diamonds to count for something maybe, and yeah, the tablet drops in a secondary tab, which we are not counting. Lesser currency as always, and maybe some other stuff here. This I'm not even looking to sell or anything, just drop them in the stash right here. So yeah, the first 5 maps, these were the drops. I'll take a short break and come back facing this screen and continue then with the 6th map up towards the 10 map sample. So I'm back, let's keep rolling the maps. I think we have to buy some other unforeseen consequence tablets. Let's quickly check the price. It got a bit higher, no matter, we are still buying it. It's a bit around 3 divines on average. Let's go and jump into the 6th map, which is a great layout. Sun Temple, probably I'll have to leave those around. Let's see if we have some other. We can use this here. Okay, so actually we get lucky sometimes and the atlas doesn't consume, due to the atlas choices, it doesn't consume the tablets, so we actually get a spare tablet right there. That's quite nice. It does that from time to time. So the 6th map, guys, let's see how lucky we can get in the 6th map. We are not actually drawing a conclusion here halfway into the 10 map sample, because in the previous 10 map sample we were running Jado. We still had 7 Omen of Lights in the first part, so in the 5 maps that we rolled, and the other 5 maps got really unlucky. Let's see if this happens again. I hope it doesn't, but still we have no way to know. Let's just roll with it and hope our luck doesn't change. Generally speaking, using the Warmonger bow, you can simply watch the direction in which you are pointing and simply shoot in that direction. The mobs will get obliterated and you are actually at a safe distance. So survivability on this build, besides the efficient evasion layer, it actually relies on the speed. Oh, the Omen of Light. See? The luck didn't run out, guys. We are still rolling it. That's what I like to see. Oh, another thing. Another Omen of Light. Shit! Another Omen of Light. This is getting really exciting. So if you're looking for a strategy that can actually get you really excited, I can simply tell you that this is the one. The numbers here don't actually indicate that the Jado roll is quite high enough, but still the luck is on our side, no matter the RNG from Jado. This goes to show you guys that running this strategy is not all about the Jado, let's say, inconsistency, but still you can get Omen of Lights in almost every single map, multiple of them in some maps. We had 3 Omen of Light drops in the first map. We have 2 Omen of Lights dropping in 2 of the maps, I think, or rather 3, I'm not sure. And almost at least 1 Omen of Light drops in every other map. So yeah, a bunch of things going on. Not sure where they are, because as I was saying earlier, we are killing at a safe distance. Great field to display. I also have a video regarding the build that I'm using. You can guys go check that out. If you want to try out the Deadeye ice shot build, it's easy to build, fun to play, it's quite exciting. Depending on what you're willing to invest, this build functions from anywhere to just few divines up till a price point which it can really get insane mirror tier. I'm not at that price point, of course. I'm like at about 2, maybe 2.5k divines for investing in this build, another divine orb, and I think we still have some things lying around. I didn't, oh, it's just an Omen of Echo. Not all that great, but still worth picking up. So this build, I love it. You guys can have a lot of fun with it. If we didn't try the Ranger build so far in Path of Exile, it's one of the most fun builds out there due to the playstyle and the feel. I've been playing Ranger in about 3 seasons, so I've started up with the not the ice shot, the lightning shot and lightning rod build, and then lightning arrow rather, and then I played poison build, poison arrow gas something build in the previous league. That was actually the least fun of the 3 variants, but still quite an efficient build. And the ice shot build, which is amazing, it feels great, it's insanely, let's say, mobile, and also has great survivability due to high evasion and due to mobility, and also the range at which you can kill enemies and freeze them, not to mention that. It's right there in the title, guys, ice shot. You are freezing everything. So yeah, quite nice progress we are doing in the 6th map. Bunch of splinters, tablets, Omen of Lights, Chaos Orbs. We got it all here. And as you can see, it was not just 1 map or 2 maps. It's around 3 maps which had multiple Omen of Light drops, and the others some decent profit from those as well. Winged Spear, that actually can mean a lot of profit. Not sure, let's quickly price check this. It's not a lot, unidentified, but if you can roll it and corrupt it and do some other shenanigans, it can really translate to hundreds of divines for the Twister build. So yeah, worth picking that up as well. The other great advantage using the Warmonger bow with the high attack speed is the fact that your Mirage Deadeye is shooting like crazy. As you can see, these guys here are shooting non-stop with a high attack speed. Is this mob bugged? No. I thought for a second there it got bugged and couldn't be attacked, or rather damaged, due to that spinning move it's constantly making. Let's pick up the other splinters here. I'm not leaving anything behind. Splinters are key. Oh shit, I'm attacking at random and actually I think I killed something right there in the dark cloud. My bad. But I'm just simply being thrown around the map due to headhunters. I should stop attacking and simply wait for the monsters to get out of the cloud. Abyssal Echoes, Chaos, some other drops, Coffer. Didn't see any divine drop from Coffers right now, so that's a bit unlucky. It usually does in just a few maps, at least 1 or 2 divines. But still, divines is not our main source of profit here. Chaos Splinter. Divine, finally. Divine from a copper. That's what I'm talking about. Abyssal Deaths. This is the first Abyssal Deaths that we are seeing, guys, in 6 map. Yeah, before jumping into the Abyssal Deaths, which will cancel out our modifiers from the Headhunters 47 stack at this point, we can simply go and kill the boss here. It's permanently frozen, don't worry, it won't hit you. Yeah, no lucky drops there. The map is complete, the abyss is clear, and now let's jump into our first Abyssal Depths and see if we can get extra luck in finding Omens of Light in the Abyssal Depths. It usually happens quite often, more often than not. But let's see. See the Amano Influence monster right there. It dropped the Necromancy. Unfortunate, but it can still roll Omen of Lights. Omens of Light, I'm not sure why I'm saying here with Omen of Lights. Echoes, yeah. Other Omens, unlucky. Make sure to check all the corners here for rare monsters, because each and every one of those guys can still drop the Omen of Light. So it's worth doing and exploring. It's a quick layout, it's not all that time consuming. We dropped like 5 Omens as of now and no Omen of Light, a bit unlucky. The 6th one, still no luck, not even a divine. It sometimes works out, it sometimes doesn't. So yeah, no worries. Keep on trying. Omen of Light. As I was saying here, guys, in the Abyssal Deaths, Christmas can happen every day. Also, as you probably have seen if you watched my previous farming sessions for Abyss, the Abyss comparison video always shows the Jado using the Abyssal Deaths increased chance, and we still have some really nice currency drops here at the end, which are guaranteed, and we've dropped some important preserved cranium or ancient rib, which sell for a lot of divines, so make sure to check those out. The preserved cranium is at the same price as Omen of Light or even higher, so that could be cool. Let's identify and see the drops here. So we got 3 divines in the 6th map. 3 Omen of Lights in the 6th map. This is the 2nd map in our farming session where we dropped 3 Omen of Lights. So guys, 6th map into the sample here, and we are at 10 Omen of Lights in the 6th map. How cool is that? This strategy rocks. No matter what we do in the final four maps, it still has a huge chunk of profit rolling. Yeah, the initial investment, gotta give you that, could be pricey for a starting point, but you guys can start out doing some other cheaper versions and then make your way up to this point in which you can invest 100 divines or so, start rolling the maps, and then simply selling the currency you're dropping like Omen of Lights and keep going, because from this point forward you're only speaking about huge profits. So yeah, cool stuff. Nice farming session. I hope we still roll 4 decent maps and we still have the final profit worth showing. I'll sell the remaining items.
Supplies. I hold on to it.
And now, without further ado, let's go and jump into the 7th map. Let's pick the Val City here. 7th map, sorry. Map number 7, yeah. Let's see how this one goes. That guy got frozen mid-air. Didn't get the chance to actually try to hit me. Even if so, the evasion rating would have probably make him miss. But they don't even get the chance to hit. That's why some of you guys are getting the feeling that I'm not taking damage, but I actually am from time to time. From random explosions maybe. Simulacrum splinters. I love those. More simulacrum splinters and the ancient concentrated something of suffering. Where is the guy from the cloud? Is he dead already? I think we accidentally killed that one, guys. No Omen of Light there. So yeah, as you can see, the build is so fast and with a high enough damage base where you can actually kill something by mistake, even in the dark cloud, and you can lose out at the potential profit of having the Omen of Light dropping. Like I did this guy here, got thrown around by my headhunters. Annoying. Maybe they can simply remove at some point. I would like that option to be removed from the game. Getting thrown around to the nearest enemy. Divine Orb, yeah. Splinters, more splinters. Abyssal Coffer with some perfect currency here. Let's turn around and see what this cave shows us. Okay, so we triggered this pit. Let's shoot in that direction. No Manamo influence here. Sadly, I'm not sure in which direction I'm supposed to be going. Let's check this out quick. The bottom side here. Splinters. Some shrine. I'm always enjoying the shrines. Divine Orb. Not that good. Oh, another divine from the coffer. Telling you guys, those coffers, check them out. No Manamu here. I actually killed those guys in just one hit. Sadly. Maybe this is a very unlucky Manamu influenced map, as we've seen in the 5th map. Even so. Oh, a bunch of them. Let's try and kill them after they get out of the dark cloud. No Omen of Light drop. None here either, but still some splinters, some tablets. Valuable stuff, guys. Splinters, splinters. In the final part of the video, where we're converting all the drops here into raw currency, so divine, you'll see that all of these splinters will count towards the final profit quite a lot. That's what I keep insisting on telling. Don't get lazy, pick up those splinters. You will later thank me. There's, as I was saying, some of the comments from my previous videos were mentioning, well, yeah, you're farming a lot in the city maps themselves with the Delirium on top and with this Abyss farming strategy, and you're making some profit, but still, is it worth it doing all the setup for the another Omen of Light? Shit! For the I don't know, the maps themselves, you have to travel around the Atlas, and then you have to do the Grand Mirrors, then you have to do the Val City setup, you have to locate them, you have to move around a lot. Well, guys, that's not a pure waste of time, because while you move around the map, make sure to use Doriani, because he gives you that chance to path faster around the Atlas, because it activates maps further away from just the adjacent one. Oh, mana flask. Is that the Laviatas? I don't know. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's keep focusing on the game so as not to get killed, even though that's very hard for these guys to hit me, I mean. But yeah, while you travel around the Atlas, the tip here would be to use Doriani as your Atlas master, and that way you'll be traveling faster than you expect, and surely enough, while traveling you can use the Delirium Rush setup for the farm. So just use 3 Delirium tablets with the modifiers increased number of rare monsters and at least one other good modifier, like increased stack of Simulacrum Splinters found in the map. That's a great one. Maybe you can have 2 of those, and maybe stack it with a third Delirium tablet, in which the second modifier would be increased chance for Delirium Fog to spawn extra mirror shards. These 2 modifiers combined will actually translate into a bunch of other Simulacrum stacking while you're mapping, while you're pathing your way to those city areas, and I think like 1 in 5 map selling points for the Simulacrum that you are gathering actually translate somewhere to around 20 or 30 divines just from the Simulacrum Splinters, guys. So rush Delirium farming is a great strategy to actually increase the value for the time spending to make the pre-setup for this strategy for the Abyss maps, in which you are targeting Val City areas with the Grand Mirror and the Delirium on top. And another quick pointer here, another quick trick which I actually found it to be quite useful. After using the let's say Delirium tablets while you're pathing around the Atlas, once you trigger the Grand Mirrors and once you've applied them to the city areas, you'll still need to do the adjacent maps to rise the level of Delirium from 1% initially to the 200%. That in terms translates to doing another 4 or 5 maps depending on your monster rarity. And in those maps, because you already have Delirium Fog, you can switch up the strategy from using 3 Delirium tablets to simply using 3 irradiated tablets, and that's the tablet farm strategy. That will ensure that in those 5 or 6 maps you are running to increase the Delirium level for the maps already covered. Shit, those are so many divines, too many divines, guys. This map is covered in divines, I'm not sure what's happening. So yeah, while using the maps to simply increase the level of Delirium that you already applied using the Grand Mirror, make sure to swap from Delirium tablets to irradiated tablets. That will increase the league mechanics on each one of your maps. And in terms, if you have the modifier with increased chance to quantity of Waystones, like above 35%, maybe close to 40, that actually contributes a lot to dropping other types of tablets. So you can tablet sustain by using this tablet farm strategy with irradiated, when actually increasing the level of Delirious that you already applied with the Grand Mirror inside the city maps. So basically in the pre-setup part we are talking about combining 2 main strategies for farming those maps, one being the Simulacrum farm with the 3 Delirium tablets, and one being the tablet farming themselves with the irradiated tablets. Make sure to have additional rare monsters on each tablet, and some other great modifiers like increased quantity of Waystones on irradiated, and increased stack of Simulacrum, and increase mirror shards on the Delirium tablets. The higher the better. They don't actually cost a lot, they are very cheap. You can find them at 40 or 50 exalts, which at this point of the league mean almost nothing. So yeah, it's easy setup, easy farm, and a lot of profit along the way. Don't neglect that. A lot of profit. Not as high as the city maps, but still quite a lot of profit. Let's quickly check the boss. I'm not sure where the boss is. I got lost again. Don't worry, I'll find it. Maybe it's this way, hopefully. If not, I'm gonna use the checkpoint here to quickly check the map. Can it be this way? I'm not sure, not really. Where the hell? Oh, maybe this way? That would be unfortunate. Let's quickly check that way. Might as well be. One indicator here is this thing moving closer or further away from the corners here. Yeah, it's this way. The closer you are getting to the boss inside your map, the closer this thing here will go to the right side of the... Yeah. And another quick tip, as you can see, whenever I see the boss, it firstly does that animation, and that prevents the boss from actually using other animations of attacking me. That's a point you get in the Delirium tree. So now, once we cleared the map and the boss, we'll quickly check out the Lightless Void, because you can still find some Omen drops inside here. If not, at the end of this extra layer, you are guaranteed to get the Kulemox invitation, which you can actually sell for some divines, or if not, you can actually do that farm for the Kulemox boss vessel farm, which guarantees you drop some type of ancient currency. So that sells for divines. It's quite worth it. I have another video on my channel a while back doing the Kulemox boss fight farm. You can go check that out for a detailed version. And the profit, which is quite high. The first bow that I used here on my Ice Shot build for the critical bow, which was actually 400 divines. That currency I actually put together using the farm for Kulemok's vessel. I was doing one run at around 1 minute or 1.5 minutes or even faster. It's an easy farm, it's a stable farm, you can simply buy the invitation, you don't have to drop it if you're not willing to wait that long. You are buying the invitation for cheaper, and it guarantees once you kill the boss just simply one time, it guarantees you the ancient currency drop, and then you sell that and you're making a small profit, but still, if you're doing it once every minute, if you invest 4 or 5 hours inside your day for that specific farm, you can actually make a quick profit and get a really nice weapon, which then later you can use for mapping and more advanced strategies as abyss farming is. So if you're looking to increase the level of your build and on your items, simply trust other farming strategies which are faster, cheaper and easier to pull off. And then once you get the items that you need, the item rarity, the weapon, the whatever else, you can simply switch up to the more advanced farming strategies like Abyss, Expedition with the Aldor Saga and all that great stuff. This is actually an easy fight for the Lightless Void. And there we go, the invite, we got it. Now we can actually move to the other maps. Let's quickly check the profit here. A lot of splinters, 3 echoes. I still think this is worth something. Oh, just 25 exalts. That's weird. It used to be worth divines. 9 divines there. 1 Omen of Light. The invite. Another diamond. Some chaos, not a lot. Is this worth anything, either of those? Some exalts, we are not counting those. Let's see this one real quick. So it's this one. Nope. Okay, so as before, the extra drops here, the tablets and so on, we are getting into a secondary tab because we don't need it. This is actually a good roll, almost a high roll. Yeah, this we are selling later, no worries for this video purpose. And let's quickly stash the other currencies here since we have them. I'm not sure if this is worth anything, probably not. We'll just stash it here and we'll sell all the rest.
I will make use of this.
Let's see if we have any other left. So we have 3 maps remaining, map number 8, 9 and 10, and we still have to buy some unforeseen consequences tablets. Let's see if the price dropped. Oh, here we go, guys. The fair price for the unforeseen consequences tablets. You can snatch those at around 900 exalts, which mean around 2 divines. It's not a lot if you are willing to wait. As I was saying earlier, the market prices move quite a bit depending on the moment you're doing the trade. So if you are willing to prepare in advance for the type of farm you want to do, you can simply put the exchange for the currencies at the price which favors you. You can wait for those trades to go through. Then you can simply get profit off of those trades, and in terms wait for the items which you are willing to buy to also get cheaper, and you can simply profit off of those trades, and it's gonna be great because you are not investing that high of a price. But as I was saying, for the... oh, this is a 17 abyss one. with just 1k exalt. How about that? This is actually quite lucky. Quite lucky. Let's do that.
Let's see if there are any
It's
takers.
worth it. See, the price has gone up and still I have got, because of the rush that I'm in, I'm getting less profit
Can I
from those
help?
trades, but no matter. I'm getting lucky on the tablet
I guess it's worth
here.
that.
So please check the market as often or as frequently as you can,
Check back
so you
soon.
can get some really decent trades here.
It's your
That will
lucky
drop
day.
the price, your initial investment, by quite a lot. And in time, if you are doing this quite frequently, you'll see that you are stashing more profits from the perfect moment of the market where you are getting the tablets from, or the other valuable items. So let's try another map. Yep, we have all we need. Let's jump into it. So this would be the 8th map, I think. Yeah, map number 8. Great session so far, great results, much higher than the previous video about Jado. Some influence here spotted on the left. Let's see if it's lucky or not. Is it dead already? The monster got killed by my mirage? Not sure. Okay, so Abyssal Echoes, not bad. Not sure what monster was there. Didn't actually see an Omen drop, so that's an indicator that we are missing some of them. Echoes, Putrefaction, no Omen of Lights yet, but still we can get it. It's just the beginning of the map. Splinters, Chaos, that's nice. The Chaos is actually stacking up in a 10 map sample. You'll see that Chaos raw currency converted at the end into divine drops. That would still mean something, so Chaos Orbs are great for this economy of the league. It's actually converting nice into divines. I like Chaos Orbs. And you still have that option on the Atlas that you get an increased chance instead of dropping the Exiles. Some of them, half of them maybe, or 50% of them, the same thing, would actually roll to be Chaos instead of Exalts for the certain biomes. So make sure to choose that. Chaos Orbs is quite a valuable currency for this league. More so than the previous ones. Another one which we killed by mistake or just too fast, and this was the drop. I don't know. Damn, sometimes it's hard to see what you're killing. The part here where Path of Exile is a try-hard game and you're simply tensed all the time so as not to die is actually avoided at this point. using the Ice Shot Deadeye build, because as you can see, this is a one button build. You are constantly just clicking. The arrow are firing in all directions using the Kadiro's Gambit quiver, and you are also mostly safe. You don't have to worry about getting killed by random explosions or by other stuff. That's why using this build, it has a nice feel to it, because it has a relaxed playstyle. You are safe, you are at a distance, you freeze everything, you don't have to worry about dying, and you have just one button to click. You don't have to pull off some crazy insane combos. You don't have to press buttons until your fingers break. It's really cool that way. But you have to have a decent level of investment to reach this point. Starting for a few hundred divines maybe, and going up to, I don't know, infinite. You can upgrade this build until you drop, and it's still not perfect. That's the beauty of this build. Most of the guys out there I've been watching say sorry, are saying that it's a high investment build, but I don't think that's actually the case. It's not true for all the players. Sure, if you want a perfect, insane build, it can be a high investment build, but it actually plays well, starting with just few divines in the early end game, working your way quickly to the economy of some 100 divines, and then while investing in your main focus here being the bow, and you get a decent one. That's all you need, and the build will start to feel quite nice. Okay, so I think the direction is towards the top of the map. This layout is also a bit funky and weird with the tight corridors, and you never know which direction you're going. At least it confuses me. And some of the tight corridor layouts are actually not ideal for abyss farming, because they inhibit the rate at which rare monsters spawn from those pits, and probably you'll miss some of those because of the layout. But that's the downside of using Jado. It sometimes gives you shitty layouts. Sun Temple is never a Sun Temple, and that's a great layout. Using Hilda... Oh, Omen of Light. There we go. Omen of Light and Abyssal Depths. In the last pit, guys, we got lucky to drop Omen of Light, and we still have access to Abyssal Depths. Let's also kill the map boss real quick and then return to do the Abyssal Depths and see if we can drop some more Omen of Lights there. Okay, that's done. Let's jump to the Abyssal Depths. Okay, so that's not Amanamu. But here it is one, here is the other one. Two Omens, not light, but still cool. The Divine Orb was dropping another Omen here. So a bunch of opportunities to get the Omen of Light in the Abyssal Depths if you're getting lucky. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Another Omen here, still not an Omen of Light. But I would say, from my experience playing a lot of Abyssal Depths this league, I would say that at least on average you drop one Omen of Light per Abyssal Depth, and some other interesting shit like Divine Orbs or Chaos Orbs or Ancient Currencies. Omen of Light, That's what I'm talking about. Omen of Light, this is the second Abyssal Depths in 8 maps that we are seeing, and in each one of them we dropped an Omen of Light. That's insane. It's not all that lucky, guys. This is actually more to the statistical average. I'm telling you, trust the process. You just have some unlucky streaks, but most of them are actually going to be more like this one that I'm showing right now. So yeah, all the details are on the channel here. You can watch previous samples for the 10 map farming. This is the second one using this method, and Jado, probably the most profitable one. It is the popular one out there. And also Hilda, you can check that out. You can check the video comparing the two, and you can see how they both work out fine, and how you can get a ton of profit using this. Another echo, it's not a light, but it's still good. Let's check the currency here. Preserved collarbone, that's useful for crafting. So yeah, great stuff happening. Let's go back to the hideout and see how the progress is looking so far at the end of the 8th map. So yeah, 2 Omen of Lights. We are actually at 13 total number in 8 maps as of now. So another 5 Divine, another 172 Splinters, 5 Echoes, lesser number in Chaos Orbs this time, but we are not complaining. Okay, let's stash the other currency away. Okay, and the desecrated currency here. And the extra tablets in a secondary stash tab, whatever. And let's sell the rest. I said sell the rest, not stash the rest.
What should I do with
Okay. Now let's quickly move to the 9th map, and actually I'll take this to keep in inventory for the 10th map, the final one in the session, just to sprint it up a little. Yeah, so this is the 9th map, I guess, because the tablets were not consumed each time, but to my count I think it's the 9th one. Yeah, got a little bit confused from all that profit, what can I say. Not an Omen of Light, that's unlucky. Or is it? We'll have to see. Splinters. Like those. Chaos Orbs, Splinters. Yep. It's a simple life, guys. Simple life. Chaos, Splinters, Delirium. Let's check the coffer here. No divines, no worries. Other Omen, which are not Omen of Light. Unfortunate. Another chest here. Okay, so the direction I think is that way. Let's quickly check the corner here so that we won't miss out on anything. This is a Rogue Exile. No diamond drop, but still worth doing. I think we have a Splinter here that we missed, and the Delirium tablet. Okay, Exalts, I'm not actually picking those up, not worth it anymore. Coffer, let's check that, no divines, okay. I have to stop shooting because I'll accidentally shit. I think I already did. kill some of those monsters, as I was trying to tell you guys that I'm trying to stop shooting them. I didn't. Okay, so no influence here. Those have the Amano influence. We have to target those once the dark cloud dissipates. No luck on the Omen drop, but still good kill. Oh, a divine. Okay, that's interesting. And other Amano here. Come on, just wait it out. Now I'm gonna kill it. Sure. No drops, maybe that one. Spawn the cloud. Come on, get out of there. Okay, that's it. Still no drop. Alrighty then. Let's move on. I think it's to the left here. The correct path. Splinters. Click, click, click. Some other splinters. This build is so awesome that it actually doesn't even require to shoot in the right direction, because your projectiles move so fast and so far away. They actually return to you due to the quiver that we're using, and you can shoot in any direction and you still hit all the enemies around. And that's a good spray effect. So yeah, another one killed by my Mirage, stupid archer, inside the dark cloud without dropping the Omen. So yeah, what can I say? Cannot control that, just have to be extra careful. Oh, I think we have yeah, we got that buff there from the shrine. Damages lightning around you, okay. That's fun and unnecessarily. Okay, let's farm for some more splinters, see if they are dropping. Echoes. See, I killed that abyssal monster before the dark cloud spawned, so that's another option you can do. If you have high amounts of damage real fast, you can kill them before they spawn the cloud and still get a high chance to drop the echo. Researcher strongbox, you can click on those for some extra currency drop. Some of the times you get divines. Didn't I click this already? What the hell? I thought I did. Apparently I didn't. Maybe I did and I rolled it twice. I don't know. Is that a thing? Maybe. Okay, so these were some unlucky pits. Let's see the remaining ones. Closing in on the map towards the boss. No influence there as well, but still some chaos and simulacrums. I think we are getting towards the end. Irradiated tablet. That's unlikely. Abyssal Deaths. So we actually didn't get any Omen of Lights this time around. But the map is not over. We are gonna kill the boss real quick. And then we are gonna try our luck inside the Abyssal Depths. So far it worked out. One Omen of Light drop per Abyssal Depth, I think. So yeah, that's cool. Some more splinters, and let's go to the boss here. Oh, it's that shit boss where it hits you and kills you one hit. The giant ape. Silver monkey, whatever. But luckily for me, using this build, it doesn't have any chance of actually hitting me. Abyssal Depths. Okay, let's see guys. Will we get another Omen of Light here? Due to the fact that the map was unlucky and it didn't drop the Omen of Light in the first layer of the map, I would consider it a great opportunity to drop it here inside the Abyssal Depths. Echoes, come on, not echoes, bro. Another thing, where? Omen of Light. As I was saying, guys, as I was saying, each and every time you travel to the Abyssal Depths, you will drop maybe one Omen of Light at least. At least one, that's the rule. Not every time, don't get me confused here. I'm just simply joking around, but yeah, you have a high chance to drop Omen of Lights down here. Most of the time you will, some of the times you won't. Don't get frustrated, it's not worth it. But the average is telling us that you probably will. Sooner or later, just keep on farming, don't get discouraged, and you will drop a bunch of Omen of Lights in the Abyssal Depths, in your maps. You'll reach a grand total of bazillions, and yeah, the final profit will work out for you this league if you are farming abyssal monsters and abyss farming strategies like the ones that I've been showcasing on my channel. Don't actually need to do all the complicated stuff with the expeditions, with the sagas. If you like exploring that, you might as well. If you like doing breach, that's another profitable option. That's the good part of this league, guys. There are so many strategies on so many league mechanics which actually tend to be as profitable or close to each other, and it's just a matter of option and maybe, I don't know, game style, which one you choose, which one you like the most. For me, it has always been Abyss. It continues to be, as you can see from my videos. I don't really actually get bored doing it. It's quite rewarding, it has a good pace. Works out for my farming style, and I'm continuing. Oh, a perfect exalt. So this is the second perfect exalt we are dropping. It's not a perfect yes, but still it has a good price. So let's get back to the hideout for the profit breakdown inside the 9th map, and then we'll quickly do the 10th one, the last one. So this is the 14th Omen of Light. Let's keep that in mind. Some divines, second perfect exalt, 7 chaos, 4 echoes, and that's just about it. Easy to count. Let's stash away the rest of the currencies because we are not counting these. Stash away the tablets real quick. I'm not even identifying them right now because I don't need to do that. I'm gonna sell the rest and quickly jump into the 10th map. So final map into this farming session. We had a good session this time around. That's why, if you wanna have a wider perspective on what the actual statistics of the profits are, you need to be a bit patient, you need to keep farming, you need to get a good sample size, at least, or more so for the Jado Atlas Master, because it's a higher volatility there and the higher RNG factor, which will determine the layouts, the percentage you're rolling for the explicit bonuses on your maps. So don't get discouraged, keep farming, keep trying, and in the end it will all work out fine. That's what I'm trying to prove here with these farming sessions. So yeah, you don't actually have to trust any opinion out there, you don't have to waste a lot of time figuring out yourself. You can watch these sessions, or at least the profit breakdown at the end, and you can quickly check if one method is better than the other. I can simply say there is no perfect method. It depends on your speed, on your build, on your clear. It depends on the strategy you prefer or you enjoy. It's not all about profit, and still comparing multiple methods together, the conclusion that I've been another Omen of Light, sure, why not? So the conclusion here would be that multiple farming methods can work out on multiple levels. That's the beauty of this season. Divine, sure, why not? Don't mind if I do. Another diamond. Some weird other stuff. Abyssal Echoes, Divines, good stuff. So yeah, just follow your favorite strategy, trying to fine-tune it. And the basic principle of this league, from what I gathered, is the higher the cost of the initial investment, the more opportunity it creates for profit. So if you reach a point in which you have some spare raw currency, or you can reach that point in divines or by selling some lucky drops or some lucky tablet rolls, it doesn't take much, just maybe 100 divines, really get started on the high-end abyss farming strategies. And once you reach that level, if you can sustain it, and you will if your build is up to it, you can actually turn quite a lot of profit real fast. It just takes you the patience to simply be persistent in following the city maps around the atlas and just keep on farming. The profit is there, and it's quite relaxing and nice, my opinion. Simply is that abyss is very fun and relaxing. Oh my god, that monster just spawned the dark cloud on top of it, almost as it was dead. Just 2 HP left, and it got away from the dark cloud. Lucky guy. Just a few more pits left on this final map. Let's hope we still... Oh, Omen of Light. It was just lying around there waiting for us, guys. I killed it from a mile away. Didn't mind the thing. And then we just stumbled across it. How lucky is that? So yeah, the other improvement that I've been making since my first video with Jado to my main weapon, the bow, can actually improve the not the farming itself, but the playstyle and the safety and the clear speed. So all those factors actually improve your quality of life while farming, improve your speed, improve your way of simply not dying and relaxing while farming this strategy. And by these you can actually enjoy the game, you can actually don't feel any fatigue from doing so. You can maybe relax for a couple of hours a day while adopting this playstyle. and you will see that it's more than enough to actually build up a profit real quick and keep on upgrading your build. And my theory so far is, if you are committed to a certain playstyle, don't try to swap builds all that often. Just keep to one, perfecting it, upgrading the items. You will feel a different side to the game. I would rather prefer doing that than try out, I don't know, 15 builds without actually getting to the point where you can actually enjoy the game, when you can actually feel that your clearing is good, your speed is great, you're not dying each time. That eliminates a lot of frustration from the game, and you'll feel another dynamic to it. You'll start relaxing, and you will actually learn a lot of other different mechanics which you can take advantage of in the future, in other seasons maybe. You can learn how to prioritize your damage improvements with each item, or what matters most at a higher level. Because if you're just trying to fill some builds which are not working out great because you don't have a lot to invest in them, and you don't get to play them a lot, you won't actually get to feel the real potential of that build. So yeah, maybe spending a month at least working on your build is not all that bad. If the build is right, if you feel it playing cool, and you feel that it's on your playstyle, don't neglect it, don't be changing it too fast. Give it a shot. I was actually a month into this build, I was getting the impression that it has reached a certain limit and I cannot progress any further, and I am not farming fast enough. And I've actually tried some different builds, and in doing so I got the experience that my build was actually quite great and had a lot of potential, and it got me thinking. So I returned to the Deadeye Ranger, and I just did some extra effort in farming to upgrade my gloves, my bow, my boots. And after a certain point I actually got a different feel for the build, and now it's at a level where it feels absolutely amazing, and I know it can get much further, but from this point onwards it will just be more and more pleasant to play. Okay, so that's the final map, guys. In the 10 map cycle we got actually another 2 Omen of Lights in the last map. We'll do the quick profit breakdown here for the final count. Another 4 Divines, 6 Echoes, some other diamonds, some 13 Chaos, Greater Chaos, whatever. Let's get rid of the other currencies here so that we have enough wiggle room to move the profit around. These secondary items I'm gonna stash away. The currency from the Abyss that we don't need. Secondary tab stuff. Other currencies here. And I'm gonna sell these. Okay, so at this point we have this income from the current farm. We have 16 total Omen of Lights in 10 maps, so that's almost 1.6 Omen of Light per map. Let's quickly check what the market is sitting in terms of Omen of Lights. Omen of Light into Divine. So yeah, it's a bit lower than last time. This time around the market is at about 12 Divines per Omen of Lights, but keep in mind, guys, that during the weekend these Omen of Lights in almost every weekend since the league started are increasing in price, reaching up to a point of 14 Divines at some, let's say, market moments. And on average I've been selling Omen of Lights for 13 or 14 divines, so at this point it's actually a bit lower. I'm still not selling Omen of Lights so far because they only increase in value, but let's quickly draw some conclusions here. So we'll be using a notepad here real quick to write down the profit that we're getting. All right, so we have, as I was saying, 14 or 16. I don't remember how much. 16. Oh, that's amazing. 16 Omen of Lights. So if we were to, let's say, calculate it at around 12 divines, even if it's, you can get a lot more than that, like 13 or 14. This is okay. So add to 12 divines, this results in 192 divines in profit. So just these omens right here. Let's check out the abyssal echoes. So that's 51 abyssal echoes. Let's check the market on those. I think those are valuing less and less. So 51 would be around 30 divines, 13 divines, let's say that. It's not a lot, but it still is something. For the abyssal echoes, right? Okay, I'll actually list them, probably will sell them. I got the 10 divines instantly, and I'll try to list the remaining 13 echoes for, I don't know, like 3 divines. Let's see if that one, oh, it actually sold instantly. I think that would be a bit higher. No matter, we actually got 13 divines from the echoes and 1 left, so it's around that. Okay, let's stash them real quick. We had the exceptional base here. It's a lucky drop. Let's put it on. But I had a lot of exceptional bases which sold for many divines in these farming sessions. Not only that, we'll have to, so that one I listed for 16. Let's see, exceptional base 16 divine, just a lucky drop there. The rite of passage here that I've been using, I think it was around 85 divines, another incredibly lucky drop. Rite of passage, it won't happen each time, so I'm actually going to take this out of the final profit, but it does from time to time. So we'll see the total value, and then we'll extract the things that were not supposed to happen or that are not happening each time. Don't worry. Okay, so this I'll stash away. Now we have around 110 chaos orbs, right? 110. Let's check those out. So chaos orbs, 110 would mean, let's quickly do the math here, 14, almost the exact amount. So around 14 divines for 110 chaos and another remaining chaos. So let's quickly note that chaos, 110 chaos translates to 14 divines. All right, now let's see what other stuff we have here. We have the ancient fragments. Let's try to sell those. The invitation, the ancient rib. So the ancient rib is like 4.5 divines, right? For the sake of this video, because we are nice guys, We are just getting 4 divines for it, just as a quick sell. I don't really care that much for this one. I'm gonna list those 2 ancient fragments for around
I'll
3
fill that in as
divines
soon as I
because they'll
can.
sell quickly. Just watch. Okay, so the extra chaos here I'm not using. Let's check out the Kulemak invitation. It used to value a lot, so it's about 3 divines. I forgot to write
Alright,
those down.
the order is
Shit.
registered.
Okay, so we got some. We'll check the final profit in divines right there. It's all on video, don't worry. We got it here, so it's fine. Okay, now let's check for the jeweler's orb if we can sell at least 3 of them for 1 divine. We can actually sell 2 of them for 1 divine, but let's, for the sake of this video, let's say we are selling all 3 of them for 1 divine. I'm happy with that. 3
Hey,
annuls. We usually get more of these. 188. Okay, let's say that 3 annuls that are usually higher would mean I don't think we can sell it for 2 divines as of now. So maybe just sell 2 annuls for 1 divine
see if
and
there are any
simply get it
takers.
that way. This will be the remaining currency that we are not actually valuing. Alright, and now let's check the simulacrums.
Can I help?
So we got 5 simulacrums here at the price of around 3 divines. So 5 simulacrums we can get around 16 divines, right?
I'll fill that in as
Just
soon
for
as I
those,
can.
this order will get through quite nicely. So I'll write the ones that are not selling as of now. I'll write them down. Let's quickly check the Great Chaos Orb. We have 5 of these. And with 5 of these I think we can get around maybe 2 divines.
I'll post it right away.
Sure. So the simulacrum is already sold, the 16 divines. That's great. Let's see the perfect orbs now.
What's new?
Perfect Exile orbs. They're around 2.5 divines each, maybe more than that. So 2 would mean that we are getting 5 divines just out of these ones. Okay. The diamonds here I'm not selling, they're just nice drops, nice loot. So let's quickly recap, guys. All that we've sold so far: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 102 divines. Let's simply get this off here, or rather not, because some of these are not actually selling as quickly. So just the ones that already sold, these are just listed, but the value is there. Okay, so these are not even the ones that I'm selling because I'm stashing these, but the value is here and you can see it. Okay, 102 divines raw currency drop. And equivalent from the things that we already sold. And we have some other listings here that we can quickly check. So we had the 3 divines for this, another 3 divines for this when it will sell, and another 2 divines for this. So another 8 divines, let's say, for these 3 listings here. 8 divines that will go through. 8 divines, current listings. Okay, so now let's do the final profit breakdown, the total profit actually. So we have 192, 16, 80. Oh no, I was saying earlier that I will not count the rite of passage because it's an incredibly lucky drop and it's not representative for the sample size. You won't get a rite of passage each 10 maps. So to be completely fair with you guys, I'm not even counting the 85 divine drops here. So I'll just count the remaining currency, 102 and 8. So that's 110, 292 with 16. That's 308 raw divines, right? Um, not counting, not counting 85 div rite of passage. So yeah, the initial investment. Now this is the total value. So total value is 308 this time in 10 maps. The initial investment we're looking at are 3 tablets at around 30 or so divines plus 10 unforeseen consequences, which are around 3 divines per tablet. This means around 120 divines total tablets. We still have the count for the Waystones. Let's approximate those at 3 divines per Waystone, even if you can actually hunt for those and get them at 2 divines. So that's another 30 divines for the initial investment. And we can see at a very high cost here that the initial investment is 150 divines. So that means the net profit from the 10 maps in this session is actually 158 divines, not counting lucky drops, guys. So we can actually get higher than 158 divines per 10 map sample using this strategy, using Jado with the 8-month corrupted Waystones, with the free Abyss tablets and the unforeseen consequences unique Abyss tablet at the end as the 4th tablet. The initial investment is, I'll give you that, quite high, but the total value you can extract from this is 308 divines and some other lucky drops, which we are not counting. So the net profit without counting the lucky drops is around 158 divines per 10 maps in this session. So yeah, there you go. The first session was really unlucky. The second one was much closer to what we would expect using this strategy. I'll keep trying to farm this type of Abyss sessions, and in another later video I'll come back and confirm if the profit is more around 158 divines per 10 maps or maybe less, because in the first session we were getting 69 divines per 10 maps. Now in the second session using this strategy we are getting 158 divines per 10 maps. So that means let's quickly do the average on this. So 69 with 158 divines divided by 2, that means around, so far average so far, 113.5 divines per 10 map sample. This is actually a great profit because, as you've seen, if you are focusing on the 10 maps, just doing those as quickly as possible, you can average 10 maps in around maybe 1.5 hours on average if your build is so and so. I've seen guys out there with faster builds which actually can clear 10 maps in maybe 15 minutes, 1 hour, let's say, faster builds. So yeah, this is the profit here in 10 maps. Depending on your clear speed and your focus and your build level, you can actually get these done in probably 1.5 hours or even less. So just think about how much profit you can be seeing using this strategy in a short period of time. You can maybe get 200 raw net profit in one sitting of 3 hours of gameplay each day, depending on your schedule, of course. So I highly recommend you guys test out this strategy, try it out, and maybe leave some comments with your results so I can get a better grasp on how profitable this really is. I'll do it myself. I'll still keep trying to farm this and get a closer statistic to what the real average is, but so far it has served me quite well. And also I hope you find this information useful, you'll be willing to test them out for yourselves. And if you like this video and this style of let's say map testing, please leave a comment, a like, and possibly subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.